And so when you're ready, let's go ahead and get started on our backs. So find a nice supine position. This can be whatever feels best today. You can, lay on your back, take up as much space as you like. Let the arms and the legs go long. You can even take some movements as well. Maybe kind of wiggle the shoulder blades underneath you. Open and close the mouth, wiggle out the jaw. But just take these first few minutes to be here, to arrive. So kind of take it all in, take in the surroundings, any noises, any smells. Just kind of notice them off in the background. And then option to bring awareness to the breath. Maybe start at the toes and slowly make your way up towards the head, and really see if you can soften every inch of the body. We're so used to gripping, to holding on. Sometimes it becomes the norm. And so see if you can really soften. Allow the feet, the legs to be heavy. Find a spot in the low back, in the belly that feels right. Maybe draw the shoulder blades underneath you, soften the shoulders. Maybe open and close the mouth. Relax the arms, palms can be face up to feel open, to create a spot to receive. Or maybe you need a little more support, a little more groundness. Feel free to place the palms down and feel the ground, feel the earth underneath you. And then you can stay here or start to bring awareness to the breath. Starting to connect with the rise and the fall of the belly, of the chest. No need to change it, just start to notice it. And if connecting with the breath doesn't feel right, no need to do it. And then option to maybe set a focal point or an intention for your practice. This could be a word, a phrase. The focal point can always be the breath, coming back to the breath as you practice. Or maybe coming back to the word of gratitude. Seeing if you can be grateful for this space, for this time to practice. And to see how cultivating gratitude might change your attitude, change your perspective. Maybe you release those judgments, those high expectations. Just be thankful that you're here, able to move your body. So if you have a focal point and intention, you can set it now. Maybe place it at the third eye, that space between the eyebrows. Hold it there, come back to it whenever you need to. And then take a deep inhale in through the nose, start to fill the belly, fill the chest, fill up with your intention. And then open mouth, exhale, release it, let it go. Beautiful. Let's take one more deep inhale, fill up with gratitude, fill up with the breath. Slow and steady exhale, let it go. And then option for your Ujjayi Pranayama breath. Inhale through the nose, seal the lips, and then exhale back out through the nose. Finding that slight constriction in the back of the throat and making your breath audible. Listening to the breath, but also really slowing the breath down with the exhale. Maybe kind of using that slow exhale breath to slow the mind down as well. And then stay here for as long as you need to. Enjoy this rest, this stillness. But whenever you're ready, you can slowly start to reawaken. Maybe wiggle the fingers, wiggle the toes, kind of roll the ankles, the wrists. If it feels right, take a nice full body stretch. Reach the arms up overhead, send the legs long. Take a couple wiggles. And then you can start to bend the legs. Place your feet on the ground. You can stay here, maybe start to lift the feet. Find any movements here. Sway the knees, draw some circles. Just kind of keeping your awareness inward, listening to what the body needs, and then not being afraid to go there. Like honoring stillness or movement. And let's find a supine twist. Feet to the ground, feet together, knees together, maybe cactus the arms overhead so elbows can be at 90, and then hips can go to the right, knees can fall to the left. And then your choice, you can really explore here. You can even kind of roll more to the left and see how that feels, and then maybe start to roll open to the right. So know that the knees and the shoulders can be lifted or grounded. Just, explore leaning one way or the other, kind of seeing where the spine needs, some movement, some rotation. And then if you would like to twist up into the cervical neck, or the cervical spine, your neck, you can allow the gaze to fall towards the opposite side. So especially, if you're leaning towards the right, maybe allow the chin to gently fall to the right as well. Take a breath, full inhale. Slowly releasing as you exhale. And then take your time, we'll take it to the other side. Knees can come up to center, and then shift the hips to the left. Knees can fall to the right, and your choice. Maybe allow the left arm to kind of lean to the left, the chest, the belly to lean to the left, or maybe it feels better to maybe lean towards the right. Find a spot that feels good for the knees, for the shoulders. You can always allow the chin to fall to the left side, breathing into the neck. If you are twisting more towards the left side, think about twisting from the belly, from your navel. Take an inhale. Gently twist as you exhale. Good, and then slowly release, come back to center. Good, maybe knees to chest or full body stretch. Let it go. And we're going to start to tap into the core. So place your feet on the ground, maybe a little wider than hip width. And then arms can be off to the side, palms can face down, really feel grounded here. And then start to bring awareness to your center. Kind of check in with the low back, see if you're arching the low back. Think about the front ribs pulling in and your low back pressing down. Kind of feel contraction happening in the front body, in your center, the front of the core, the sides of the core. And then you can stay here or start to point your toes towards the ceiling. See how that might change a little bit, and then see if you can pull the front ribs in and keep your low back grounded. Now you can stay here, the core is definitely working, or start to kind of slide your right heel towards the right corner of the mat, and then slowly start to slide the right heel back in. You may have to lift the heel a little bit and then take it to the left. If you're wearing socks, it's a little bit easier. So just go at your own pace, extending the right leg, and then slowly pulling it back in, and then taking it to the other side. I like to, a lot of times, place my hand on my belly, especially the front ribs, to make sure the front ribs are pulling in and really feel the abdominals working here. And finding gratitude for those abdominals that keep you upright, that support the spine. And then even out the sides, so you can stay here or maybe do both legs. So extend the heels and then slowly pull the heels back in. And two, if this is too much, or if you feel pinching or arching on the low back, take a break, or you can always come back to single legs. Good. Keep the front ribs in, low back to the ground, maybe two more. And then when you're ready, slowly release. Maybe a nice full body stretch, open and close the mouth. Awesome job, let it go. And then start to bend the legs again. This time you can do exactly what we did, or kind of find a dead bug variation. So start to lift the legs, placing the knees on top of the hips, okay? So now the heels are lifted. So it's gonna be harder. So don't be afraid to keep the heels on the ground, okay? Just like we did before, front ribs in, low back presses down to the ground, and then see if you can flex your toes, really activating the legs. Good, beautiful work, stay here, know you're working. or start to lower the right heel to the ground, and then draw the right heel back up. Slowly lower the left, pull it back up. Good, so go at your own pace. Keeping the front ribs in, keeping the low back towards the ground. And like always, if you feel pinching, arching, if you feel, fatigue, that's okay. All right, you're working hard. Take a rest when needed. And then even up the sides. Now this is intense, so you can stay here, keep going single or maybe double. Lower both heels and then slowly lift back up. Front ribs in, low back is pressing to the ground. You might feel some shaking happening. And two, you can always just lower the heels maybe a little bit right before the low back wants to lift. Good, maybe 3 more. Awesome work. So strong, last 2. Good, last 1. Whew. We did it, beautiful work. Release, full body stretch, knees to chest. Awesome work. Slow it down. And then we're gonna meet in tabletop position. Take your time getting there, no rush. Coming onto all fours. We will be here for a little bit, so feel free to grab a blanket or maybe roll up your mat, placing it underneath the knees. And 2, you can be on the hands for tabletop, or feel free to even take it on the forearms. But just starting to find some movement here. It might feel good to flow into cat-cow. So as you inhale cow, gently lower the belly, lift the heart. And then as you exhale cat, to kind of draw the pelvis underneath, press the ground away. Inhale to cow, breathe into the front body, find some release after all that hard work. And then exhale, round, pull it in. So 3, 4, maybe 5 more rounds of breath, whatever you need here. You can start to add on, maybe wag your tail, take some circles with the hips. Beautiful work. Good. And then coming back into tabletop, check out the hands. If you're on the hands, gently spread the fingers, really active fingers, grip down, and start to kind of squish the palms of your hands into the mat as well. And then think about lifting up out of the shoulders. Shoulder blades stay flat on the spine. And just like we did before, front ribs in, you might even feel the glutes kind of draw down. Nice neutral spine here. And then tuck the right toes under. Start to kind of lift the right knee like 1 inch, 1 centimeter off the ground. Try to keep the hips level, front ribs in. And then when you're ready, as you inhale, fire hydrant pose, lift the right knee towards the sky. And then as you exhale, slowly lower back down. So here we go. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Good, now hold at the top. Keep the right toes flexed. Maybe kind of pulse the right knee. Keep the hands really strong. Press down. Last 3, 2. Good, last 1. Take an inhale. And then start to send your right knee towards the right arm. Lizard lunge. Right foot can step forward to the outside of your hands. Good. Now feel free to stay here or grab your blocks. And then option to kind of just find some movement here. So kind of like cat-cow. As you inhale, come forward. Maybe the pelvis lowers, lift the heart, finding a little back bend. And then as you exhale, half splits, bump the hips back. Start to straighten through the right leg, say hi to the hamstring. So 3, 4 rounds of breath here. Feel free to explore, right? Really tapping inward and listening to your inner teacher, seeing what you need. Good. And then coming back forward, so take your right foot and walk it back, in between the hands. So frame out the right foot. So more like a lunge position now. And then from here, press the top of your left foot down. Start to slowly rise. Anjaneyasana, hands can come to the hips. Okay? So a lot of work in the hip flexor. So let's kind of stretch it out. Start to squeeze your left glutes. Front ribs in. Right? You might be feeling some length here in the front of your left thigh into like the psoas muscle. So front ribs in, really squeeze the left glute. And then you can stay here or start to reach your left arm overhead. Take a breath, inhale. As you exhale, gently lean towards the right. Squeeze the left glutes. Big inhale. Stay or maybe lean to the right as you exhale. Good, one more round of breath. Good, and then back up to center. Maybe right hand lifts high. Exhale, release, arms to the ground. Good, now tuck the left toes under. And then from here, step back, down dog. Send the hips high. However you need to get there. And then once in down dog or tabletop, feel free to explore. Maybe pedal up the legs, sway the hips. And then down dog, make sure those hands are active. Press the ground away to lift the hips. Draw the front ribs in, maybe bend the knees. Take an inhale, fill up the back body. Find gratitude for your strong shoulders as you exhale. And then start to come forward into high plank, not here long. Drive the heels away, firming up the thighs. Front ribs in, take an inhale. Exhale, slowly lower down to the ground. Good. So let's move into Sphinx pose. Come onto the forearms. Elbows will be underneath the shoulders. And kind of start to draw the elbows towards the ribs. And then just be aware, see if you're kind of spilling the ribs forward. See if you can draw the front ribs in. Keep length in the low back. Take a breath, inhale. Maybe gaze to the left as you exhale. Inhale back to center. Exhale, take it to the right. Good. Inhale back to center. And then as you exhale, release, palms come underneath the shoulders. Child's pose, tuck the toes under, lift up. Knees go wide, send the hips back. Good, reset here, check in. You can always place a pillow underneath the hips. You can always adjust the arms. And see what you're holding on to. Maybe see what you need to release, let go. Instead, if you need to, cultivate some gratitude here. Finding gratitude for your strong glutes, for your core, your spine, for everything that's working behind the scenes. Take a breath. Slowly release, let it go. Good. And then take your time. We'll meet back in tabletop. Before we do the other side, let's stretch out the wrists. So fingertips can point to the outside edges of the mat and kind of stay here. Maybe take some movements, sway it out. You can always stay here, or fingertips can rotate, or wrists can rotate even more. Fingertips can point to the knees. So it might be a little more intense. Find what feels good for you. And then start to roll the wrist, go one way, go the other. And then we'll do the same thing, but just the opposite. So now fingertips point in, palms face up, and kind of lift up here. So you're not, dumping weight into the wrist. Find space in the tops of the wrist and into the forearms. You can rotate. Fingertips can always point to the knees. Think of kind of like a cat back here. Or two, you can even take a seat and take this like downward reverse prayer. So fingertips can point down, and just kind of breathing into the tops of the wrists. So you're kind of just switching up the way our hands are all the time in plank and in down dog and in tabletop. And then when you're done, release, roll it out. Awesome work. And then same thing other side. So tabletop position, front ribs in, glutes draw down, strong hands, lift up. And then tuck the left toes under. So to lift the left knee like a centimeter off the ground. Try to keep the hips in line as best as possible. And then when you're ready, fire hydrant pose. As you inhale, lift the left knee. Say hi to the glutes. And then as you exhale, slowly come back down. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Good. Last time, inhale, lift. Hold here. Maybe add a little pulse. Keep your left toes flexed. Little pulse with the left knee towards the ceiling. Yes, say hi to those strong glutes. Last 3, 2, 1. Take an inhale. Lizard lunge. Left knee will start to reach forward. Start to step your foot, pull your foot towards the top. So hands to the inside of the left foot. Feel free to adjust. Stay here. Maybe grab those blocks. And then option to explore. As you inhale, maybe cow. Kind of allow the hips to be heavy. Lift the heart. Exhale, venture back into half splits. Keep a little bend in the left knee and just allow yourself to move with the breath here, kind of finding that nice moving meditation. Allowing the mind to be here, present with the body. 2 more rounds. You can always hold at any point. And then when you're ready, we'll come into the lunge. So walk your left foot to the inside of your hands. So framing out the left foot. Press the top of your right foot down, find support, and then slowly rise. Hands can come to the hips. So breathing down to the right hip flexor, the psoas. So front ribs in, and right away you should kind of feel the glute working. So really squeezing through the right glutes. Breathing into the front of the right thigh. Might even feel this even into the quad muscle, the top of the thigh. Stay here, or right hand can reach overhead. Front ribs in, keep squeezing the right glute. Take a breath, inhale. Maybe lean over to the left as you exhale. Keep squeezing the glutes, big inhale. Reach to the left as you exhale. 1 more. Keep the front ribs in. Good, and then slowly come back up. Anjaneyasana, maybe left arm comes overhead, and then exhale, release, hands to the ground. So we're gonna meet in down dog or tabletop. Tuck the back toes, lift the hips, find space, step the left foot back. Beautiful work. Ground down through the hands, lift the hips, let the head hang heavy, kind of letting go of the ego here, bowing with the head. Take an inhale, find room in the back body. Open mouth, exhale, maybe find room in the mind. And then start to shift forward into high plank. If you need to, always an option, come onto the knees. The knees are lifted, drive the heels away, front ribs in, so strong, take a breath. Exhale, lower all the way down to the ground. Cobra pose. So feet will press down, knees will lift, inner thighs squeeze in and up. Think about your pubic bone pressing down. And then as you inhale, start to lift the heart. Finding that pressure with the inhale breath in the belly to really press down to keep support in the low back. Shoulder blades down the spine. Good, take an inhale. Exhale, slowly lower. Child's pose, awesome job. Tuck the toes, start to press up. Balasana, knees wide, send the hips back. Feel free to explore here. Walk the hands forward, maybe relax the arms. Slow it down. You kind of check in, see where you're at, see if you need to release. Just becoming aware here of the thoughts. If they don't serve you, no need to hold on to them. Awareness can help us release. Take a breath. Soften as you exhale. Good. And then you can stay in child's pose as long as you like. We're just going to transition to the top of the mat. So option for down dog, or you can just come to standing. But once in down dog, you can start to lift the heels, gaze forward, bend the legs, walk, step, make your way to the top of your mat. Holding there at the top, finding ragdoll, nice relaxed forward fold. Feet are about hip width distance, bend the legs, and then any variation of the arms. You can cross the elbows, kind of sway side to side. It might feel good to find a chest expansion grip, interlace the fingers, or grab your strap. And gently reach the arms up overhead. Breathe into the shoulders, the chest. Start to shift the weight forward to the balls of the feet, and then think about lifting from your seat. And then whenever you're ready, release any grip you have, and then take your time, slowly roll up. Let the arms, the head be heavy, kind of upside down for a bit there, so give your blood pressure time here to reset. And then once you reach the top, roll it out. And then go the other way with the shoulders. You find some half circles in the head of the neck. Good. And then meeting in Tadasana mountain pose. So if you need to, bring the feet right underneath the hip bones, the ankles right underneath the hip bones. And if you would like, kind of shift forward and back, lift the heels and then lift the toes. Start to even the weight out in the front of the foot, so the ball of the foot and the heel. And then think about lifting from the inner arches of your foot. Front ribs in. If you need to adjust the pelvis, make sure it's right underneath the shoulders. Palms can shine forward, soften the shoulders back. Now find a focal point out in front of you. Your vision will help you be aware, help you be focused, keeping you here. Take a breath. Grow a little bit taller as you inhale. Release, let it go as you exhale. Good. A variation of Sunday, Surya Namaskar. Inhale, reach the arms forward or maybe overhead. And then from here, side body stretch. So right hand can come to right thigh and then reach up and over with the left. Front ribs in, take an inhale. Reach over to the right as you exhale. Good, one more inhale. Inner thighs squeeze in. Exhale. And then inhale, rise. Arms come back overhead. Exhale, take it to the left. Left hand down, right hand high. Front ribs in. Breathe into the right side. Big inhale. Reach to the left as you exhale. Good. Inhale, come back up to center. Exhale, forward fold, Uttanasana. Keep a bend of the legs. Ride the breath. Come all the way down. Inhale to your halfway lift. Palms to shins. Send the gaze to the toes. And then send the shoulder blades down the spine. Feel neutral spine, but so strong, in the spine and in the front body. Take a breath, inhale. As you exhale, high plank, plant the palms, step the feet back. So I'm going to take Cobra, but if you like Chaturanga, feel free to go there. So when you're ready, big inhale. As you exhale, slowly lower down to the ground for Cobra. Inhale, Cobra, Bhujangasana. Lift the heart, keep the feet grounded. Pubic bone presses down. And then as you exhale, lower. Good, tuck the toes under. Start to lift up, use the knees here, so strong. Downward dog, send the hips high. Good, take a breath, big inhale. Soften as you exhale. Good, now inhale, lift the right leg, three-legged dog. Go as high as you want. Really strong in the hands, the shoulders. Take an inhale. As you exhale, gaze forward. Start to pull the right leg through. Coming into a lunge position. If you don't make it there, no worries. Kind of step the right foot to the right thumb. Holding here, left heel press away. Left hand can come to a block. And then maybe right hand comes to the right hip. Take an inhale, fill up. As you exhale, grounded twist. Turn your heart to the right. Breathe here into the outer right thigh. And find that rotation from the belly up. Gaze can be down to the side, maybe to the sky. Beautiful, big inhale. Gently twist as you exhale. Good, now send the gaze down. We're going to come to forward fold. So take an inhale breath. As you exhale, step your left foot to meet the right. Beautiful work, shake it off. Inhale, take your halfway lift, long spine. Exhale, fold, release. Inhale, rise, extended to Tadasana, mountain pose, reach high. Exhale, pull it into your heart. Good. So same thing other side, kind of flowing a little bit, and then we'll slow it down. Inhale, rise, extended to Tadasana. Exhale, side body stretch to the right. Inhale to center. Exhale, take it to the left. Inhale, center. Exhale, forward fold, bowing to your practice, to your body. Inhale, halfway lift, strong spine. Exhale, high plank, plant the palms, step back. Holding here for your inhale. Slowly lower down to the ground as you exhale. Cobra pose, inhale, Bhujangasana. Feet grounded, inner thighs lift. Exhale, lower. Good, tuck the toes, use the knees here, starting to press up. Downward facing dog, send the hips high. All right, slowing it down a little bit. Left leg lifts, three-legged dog, so strong. Now know that this transition is hard, so be kind to yourself here. Gaze forward, take an inhale. As you exhale, draw the left leg through and see if you can walk, step, maybe gently pull your left foot to the left thumb. From here, we'll take the twist. So right hand to a block, left hand can come to the hip. And as you inhale, find space. As you exhale, twist to the left. And really strong in the back leg. Think about lifting from the inner right thigh, extending through the right heel. Hug the left hip in, take a breath. Twist from the belly as you exhale. Good, now gaze can come down. Take an inhale. Step to the top of your mat. Take your time. Forward fold position. Awesome work. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise, extend it to Tadasana. Exhale, pull it in, hands to heart. Good, awesome job. Big inhale. Slow it down as you exhale. Good. All right, shake it out. So we're gonna start to focus on the glutes again. We're gonna explore, half moon at some point. So a little bit of Pilates work here to kind of turn on those glutes even more. So you can do this standing. So we're gonna lift the leg off to the side, or you can do this from like a forward fold position. So if you have blocks, it's great to use blocks, and you can lift the leg this way as well. All right, so I'm gonna do it from a forward fold position, but feel free to do it from this position as well, okay? And you can even explore, do both and see what feels right for you, okay? So if you would like, come down to more of a forward fold position, and you might wanna walk your left foot more towards the middle, so kind of in between the hands, and then start to shift the weight to the left foot, and then lift the right. Flex the right toes, all right? And try not to pop, your left hip off to the side. Keep the left hip hugging in. Press the hands into your blocks, and then as you inhale, lift the right leg off to the side as high as you want. And then slowly come back down. So strong, so difficult. Inhale, lift the right leg. Exhale, slowly lower. Keep the right toes flexed. Couple more. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Good. Last one, lift. Now maybe you hold here. Keep the right toes flexed. Maybe you add that pulse. Keep hugging the left hip in. Feel the heat. Take rest when needed. Last 3, 2, 1. Take an inhale. Exhale, lower. Woo. Shake it off. Good. If you would like, kind of roll back up. Let your blood pressure reset. Shake it out. Good. Don't worry. We'll stretch out the glutes at some point. All right. Same thing other side. Standing or from a forward fold position. Your choice. So right foot will come to the middle, and then start to lift the left foot like a centimeter off the ground. Flex the left toes, hug your right hip in, and then when you're ready, inhale, lift your left leg off to the side as high as you need it. Keep hugging the right hip in, and then exhale, lower. This side's gonna be different. No worries. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Inhale, lift. Keep the left toes flexed. Exhale, lower. So strong. Last one. Inhale, lift. Keep hugging the right hip in. Maybe add that pulse at the top. Take what you need here. So strong for 3, 2, 1. Take an inhale. Exhale, release. Whew. Shake it off. Awesome job. Slowly roll up. Whew. Awesome job. Roll the shoulders. Good. And then if you're not there, make your way top of the mats to Tadasana, mountain pose. Ground down to the feet. And then take an inhale, reach the arms up overhead. As you exhale, maybe cactus the arms, so elbows to 90, and find a little back bend here. So lift the heart, kind of breathe into the front body. Breathe into the hip flexors. Big inhale. Squeeze inner thighs. Maybe lean back as you exhale. Good. And then inhale up through center. Exhale, release, arms back off to the side. And then we're going to step back for warrior 2. So left foot will step back. Keep the right toes pointed forward. And then right knee will start to bend. And then right knee is going to actively press to the pinky edge of your foot. So once again, opening up the inner thigh here. Squeeze the right glute. Little bend in the left knee. Try not to lock the left knee out. Maybe warrior 2 arms. Keep the shoulders over the hips. If you want to relax a little bit, it might feel good to flip the palms face up. Good. Now you can stay here. We're also kind of working the side bodies today. So keep your warrior 2 legs. And as you inhale, start to reach forward, kind of serve the platter. And then as you exhale, reach it back. Good. Inhale, reach forward. Exhale, reach back. Good. One more. Inhale. Big exhale. Good. Now as you inhale, reach forward, side angle pose. Right forearm to right thigh, and then left arm can circle overhead. Keep a little bend in the left knee. If the left shoulder is fatigued, no worries. Left hand can always come to the hip. Or maybe place your hand on the front ribs. And see if you're kind of flaring forward and arching the low back. Draw the front ribs in, kind of scoop the pelvis, the right hip underneath. Now, this is a challenge, but option to see if you're kind of resting on the right thigh, so maybe lift the right forearm, or you can reach the right fingertips towards the front. Take a breath, inhale. Stay for the exhale. Good. Now inhale, reverse warrior. Keep the lunge, circle it up and back. Draw the right shin forward, gaze up or down. Find space in the right ribs. Good. Big inhale. Exhale, warrior two. Arms come back parallel. 5-point star, burst open. Right toes in. Heels in line, toes in. Big inhale, breath. Exhale, wide-legged forward fold. Take it down to the ground. So 5 rounds of breath here. You can stay. Maybe find some side lunges. Bend in the right leg, bend to the left. Kind of go side to side here. Shake the head yes, shake it no. And if you are holding that wide-legged forward fold, keep a little bend in the legs and think about lifting from your seat. And stretching the belly of the hamstring. Take a breath, big inhale. Gently fold as you exhale. Good. And then option to send the heels in, toes out. So kind of finding your goddess squat, kind of that sumo squat. Maybe forearms come to the inner thighs and just kind of sway here side to side. So getting into the inner thighs, relax the shoulders, the fingertips. And then you can stay here, maybe start to walk the hands to the inner thighs. Allow the inner thighs to lift, knees will press away. So maybe one hand to belly, one hand to the low back, really making sure you're not kicking your butt up behind you and compressing the low back. Front ribs in, scoop the pelvis underneath. Not here long, goddess pose, maybe elbows to 90. Gently draw the shoulder blades towards one another. Think about reaching back with the armpits. So you're not arching the back again. Take a breath, inhale. Maybe sit a little lower as you exhale. Woo! 5-point star, burst open. And then hands to heart, so you can hop the feet together or just walk heel toe the feet back to center. Good, shake it out, awesome job. Come back to the top, same thing other side. So left foot will step back, or left foot will be forward, my bad. Right foot will step back. Warrior two, Virabhadrasana 2. Left heel is in line with the right arch. Left knee will gently press away. Find activation through the glutes. Front ribs in. Maybe explore the arms. Find that jersey, that focal points. Your vision, so important for focus here. And then option to flip the palms face up, really soften the shoulders back. And then stay here, or as you inhale, reach forward. And then as you exhale, see if you can reach back. Good, inhale, reach forward. Exhale, reach back. Good, one more, inhale. Exhale. Good, now adding on as you inhale, reach forward. Exhale, side angle. Left forearm to thigh. Right hand can go overhead. The right shoulder is kind of fatigued, no worries. The right hand can always come to the hip. Or maybe hand to the belly. Front ribs in. Lift the heart. Draw the hips underneath you. So still supporting the low back here. Left forearm can kind of hover, making sure you're not dumping weight into the left side, or maybe reach the left arm towards the front. So strong. Inner thighs squeeze in. Take a breath. Stay for the exhale. Good. Reverse warrior. Try to keep the lunge. Lift up and back. Draw your left shin forward. Breathe into the left ribs. Good. Big inhale. Exhale, warrior two. And then 5-point star, burst open, left toes in. So heels in line, toes in. Take an inhale. Exhale, wide-legged forward fold. Pasarta Padottanasana. Come all the way down. So last time you're here, you can stay. Maybe find those side lunges. Maybe a chest expansion grip. You can shake the head yes, shake it no. Feel free to hang out in stillness or, explore whatever feels right for you right now. Honoring this moment. Try not to compare to last practice, to your future practice. Maybe finding gratitude for what you can do right now. Make sure you keep a little bit in the legs, lift from the hips, take an inhale. Try to soften into it as you exhale. Good. And then one more time, goddess, heels in, toes out. And then option this time to place the hands to the inner thighs, starting to lift up. And then option for the twist. So as you inhale, lift up. And then as you exhale, shoulder towards the right knee. So left shoulder reaching towards the right. And then inhale back up to center. Exhale, twist to the left. Inhale, center. Exhale to the right. Inhale, center. Exhale to the left. And then back to center. Glutes scoot underneath. Knees press away. Front ribs in. Try to soften the toes and maybe find goddess. Elbows can be at 90. Think about reaching back from the armpits to draw the shoulder blades to the center. Good, so strong. Take an inhale. Maybe sit a little lower as you exhale. Good, 5-point star. Coming back up. And then hands to heart, heel toe, or hop the feet together. Woo, shake it out. Roll it out. Good. All right, so one more time. A little different, but option to take half moon. Ardha Chandrasana. All right, so first, let's come down into tabletop. All right, and we'll kind of find some Pilates work here in tabletop as we prepare for half moon, okay? So from tabletop position, extend your left leg long, toes will stay on the ground. Maybe first find a calf stretch, drive through the left heel. Okay, and then we're gonna kick your right foot to the right side. So right toes are going to turn to the right. Going to come to the inside of my left foot. Right hand can kind of walk forward in front of the right shoulder. And then left hand can go high, kneeling side plank. Okay? So kind of make sure that left hand is slightly in front of the right shoulder. Press it down, kind of shift the weight to your center. Front ribs in. Hand can be lifted or overhead. And then kneeling half moon, explore lifting the left foot. Flex the toes. Find your left glute muscle. And we're not going to go up and down. We already did that. No need to force it. Right? But maybe you could just focus on lifting the left leg and really shifting the weight to the center here. Beautiful work. Find the breath. Inhale. Stay for the exhale. Good. Last inhale breath. And then as you exhale, release, come back down to tabletop. Beautiful work. Sway the hips. Let that side go. And we'll do the same thing on the other side. So extend the right leg to start, toes to the ground. Drive through the right heel. And then you can stay here or setting up for a kneeling side plank. Left foot kicks behind you, rolling to the inside of the right foot. Maybe adjust the left hand in line with the knee, but slightly in front of the shoulder. And an option to reach the right arm overhead or maybe right hand to hip. Front ribs in. And then see if you're kind of, dropping down, right? Gravity's pulling us down. See if you can kind of shift the weight to your center here. So really engaging, feeling light in the left hand. Stay here, great option. Or maybe start to lift the right foot. Kneeling half moon, flex the right toes. Find those glutes nice and strong. Make sure to breathe. Good, awesome job. So just, imagine yourself now balancing on the left foot. Same thing is working. Take a breath, inhale. And then as you exhale, slowly release back to tabletop. Shake it off. Woo. All right. And then you can stay here or downward facing dog. Tuck the toes, send the hips high. And then lift the heels, gaze forward, bend the legs, step, walk top of your mat. Halfway lift once you're there. Exhale, fold. A little bend in the legs, rooting down, rise up. Inhale, extended to Tadasana. Exhale, hands to heart, pull it in. Good. All right. So we're going to explore half moon, kind of from that Warrior 2 series. Great for a block to have. We'll also explore triangle pose at first. So great to have a block or like a water bottle, anything that you can place the hand on. So right foot will stay forward, step your left foot back, coming into Warrior 2. Find a spot that feels good. And then reach the arms forward and back, shoulders over the hips. Good. And then start to straighten through the right leg. I like to shorten my stance here, so I'm going to walk my left foot forward, but feel free to adjust. And then inhale, reach the right arm forward. Exhale, triangle, Trikonasana. Right hand to the shin or to a block. And then left hand can stay to start. You know, imagine the heart lifting, kind of twisting from the belly, rotating from the belly, but keep the front ribs in. So both legs are straight, but there's a little bend in the right knee and a little bend in the left. Now inner thighs are going to squeeze in. Maybe left arm goes overhead, maybe gaze up. Beautiful work. Take a breath. Stay for the exhale. Good. Now you can stay here. This is like half moon, but more grounded. Option for half moon though, left hand can come to the hip, kind of coming back into side angle, bend into the right knee. Right hand will reach for the block in front of the right toes. And then start to shift the weight to the right foot. Floats, lift off the left. So straighten through the right leg, flex the left toes. And then like we did earlier, see if you can shift the weight to your center. Lifting up out of the right hand. And it's okay to fall out, right? You're kind of teaching the body, teaching the mind that you can fall, but get right back up. Also strengthening the ankles here. Can even explore the left hand going high. Keep lifting through the left leg. Flex the left toe. So strong. Now start to imagine Warrior 2 in your mind. Take a breath. Inhale. Slowly Warrior 2. Step it back. Nice and gentle. Woo, good. Inhale, reverse. Front ribs in. Breathe into the right side. Good. And then exhale back to Warrior 2. Straighten through the right leg. Turn the right toes in. And then hop the feet together or heel toe the feet together. Whew, slow it down, shake it off, let that side go. So last time, other side. Warrior 2 to start. Left foot forward, right foot back. Virabhadrasana 2. Reach the arms forward and back, shoulders over the hips. And then start to straighten through the left leg. Maybe adjust the back foot. And then as you inhale, extend, reach through the left fingertips. Exhale, triangle pose, Trikonasana. Left hand to block or to the shin. Right hand can come to the hip. Just bringing awareness to what's happening here. So triangle pose can be intense. Inner thighs are squeezing in. Front ribs pulling in. Start to lift the heart. So making sure we're not arching the low back here. Gaze where it feels good for you. Good. Take a breath. Triangle pose. And then you can stay here, right? This is like half moon, but right foot is grounded. If you like to explore half moon, right hand can come to the hip. Start to bend into the left knee. Left hand can grab your block. Reach through the left hand. And then big inhale, shift the weight forward. As you exhale, lift up. Half moon, Ardha Chandrasana. Right away, flex the right toes towards the right side. Find your strong glutes. It's okay to fall out. It's okay to wiggle. Training the body here, training the mind. It's okay not to be perfect. And then front ribs in, lifting from the belly, finding that rotation here. And the right hand can always go high. But see where you're dumping the weight. See if you can kind of lift up out of the left hand. Good, so strong. Now imagine Warrior 2, take an inhale. Exhale, slowly step it back. Whew. Good. From here, straighten through the left leg, toes in, hop the feet together, heel toe the feet together. Whew. We did it. Half moon. Awesome job. Shake it out. Make your way to the top. So we're going to come to down dog for pigeon pose. If you would like figure 4, you can come onto your back. But when you're ready, take an inhale. Flow it out here, kind of reset. Extend it to Tadasana, arms reach overhead. Exhale, forward fold, bowing forward. Inhale, take a halfway lift, long spine. Exhale, high plank, plant the palms, step back. If you like the flow, take it. We'll meet in downward facing dog whenever you're ready, or tabletop. And then pigeon pose, like I said earlier, you can take figure 4 on your back. For pigeon, you can start to shift forward, bring your right knee to the right wrist, slide your ankle to the left so you're not sitting on the heel, and then extend the left leg long. Toes can point to the wall behind you. You can even gaze past the the right shoulder. And then option to stay lifted here. So a little back bend is happening. You can even walk the hands forward or back to adjust. But kind of keep the front ribs in, keep lifting the heart. And you may explore the hips a little bit. Draw the right hip back, left hip forward. Kind of breathe into, once again, the left psoas. And then you can stay here or sleep your pigeon. Slowly make your way down. If you have a lot of space underneath the right hip, no worries. You can grab a blanket, a pillow, slide it underneath the right hip. Forehead can rest on a block or on the ground, or just let it hover. And then we're going to take about 5 rounds of breath here. Don't be afraid to adjust. Don't be afraid to come out of the posture at any point. Let's see if you can maybe be here with the breath, being aware of what thoughts come up, seeing if you need to release those thoughts, being aware of any tightness or tension you're holding on to, seeing if you can soften the fingers, the shoulders, the jaw, especially in pigeon pose. See if you can relax the glutes. Allow the body to get 5-10% more relaxed. Letting go of the gripping. Take an inhale. Try to relax into it as you exhale. Good. Last round of breath. And then you can stay here. Honor the right side for as long as you like. When you're ready, you can start to release. If you're on your back, you can make your way to the other side. But if you're in pigeon, tuck the left toes. Maybe step back to down dog. If you would like 3-legged dog, right leg can go high, maybe like a scorpion dog. Bend the right leg. Knee lifts, heels to the glutes. And then back to a downward facing dog, Adho Mukha. Pigeon pose, left side. Left knee will slide to the left wrist. Ankle will slide to the right. Extend the right leg long behind you. Toes point to the back. Maybe gaze past the left shoulder. And you can always slide a pillow, a blanket underneath the left hip, finding support there. And an option to walk the hands forward, maybe walk the hands back. Breathing here, left hip can draw back, maybe actively draw the right hip forward. Keep lifting through the heart. And stay here, or maybe start to sleep your pigeon, coming down, forearms to the ground. Relax the shoulders. And once again, being aware, being here, seeing if you need to release any thoughts, any judgments, any tightness. And give the body and the mind permission to let go. Taking time to slow things down, to see what we're holding on to, and to see if it serves us without any judgment. Don't be afraid to adjust, release at any point. 2 more rounds of breath. Beautiful work. And then you can stay here as long as you like, but when you're ready, start to release, come out of it. We are going to come onto our backs, but if you want to maybe find a counter stretch, left leg can go high, maybe a scorpion dog, bend the knee, kind of breathe into the left hip. And then back to downward dog. Awesome job. Bend the legs, come all the way down onto your back, grab whatever you need here. Blocks, blankets, pillows. And then once you're on your back, take some movements, maybe knees to the chest, kind of rock it out side to side, giving the low back some love. And then I was going to do some bridge work, some Pilates and bridge, but I feel like we've done enough strength building. So just 2 rounds of bridge, and you can take supported bridge and use that block, which is kind of finding the back bend, opening up the front body one last time. So set to Bandhasana, feet can come to the ground, arms can be off to the side, and then when you're ready, drive the heels down, start to lift the hips coming into bridge. So kind of make sure the knees, the hips, and the shoulders are in line. Try not to torque the hips too high. You can always place a block underneath you, support a bridge. Let the block do the work. Or you can always place that block in between the thighs and gently squeeze that block. So if you're active, think about the inner thighs working, your adductor muscles. Kind of squeeze them to center without moving the legs, and kind of allow the inner thighs to kind of roll down. Palms can flip up to maybe open up the chest, the shoulders. Gaze can go up. And then make sure to breathe. See the belly rise and fall in the background. Awesome job. Take a breath. Inhale. And then as you exhale, release. Supta Baddha Konasana, soles of the feet together. Knees can go wide. Feel free to adjust. One hand to heart, one hand to belly. Slow it back down. Reconnecting with the breath. As you inhale, fill up, feel the body rise. As you exhale, let go, feel the body soften. And then you can stay here, or option for one more bridge. So you can grab for the outer thighs, gently close the legs. Feet can come back to hip width. And then drive the heels down, lift the hips, coming into bridge. If you didn't take supported bridge and you want to this time, that block can go right underneath you, the flat part of your spine, your sacrum. Or if you're active, drive the heels down, inner thighs squeeze in. Maybe palms up, kind of shimmy the shoulder blades underneath you. And if you want to lift one leg and then lift the other, feel free to do so. Kind of find what you need here. Build heat or slow it down. Just wherever you're at, make sure to breathe. Good, and then take an inhale. When you're ready, slowly release. This time, option for constructive rest pose, teepee pose, knees together, feet to the edges of the mat. Allow the low back to ground down. Kind of feel some release maybe in the hip flexors, the low back. You can bring those elbows to goddess arms to 90. And maybe you rock the head side to side. And then maybe find some movement in the legs. Send the knees to the right and then to the left. Kind of windshield wiper the legs side to side. And then coming back to center. And then we're going to take wind removing pose. If you like it with the block, you can do that. So block can be at the lowest height. Slide that block underneath you. Left leg can be bent or straight, and then start to draw the right knee in. And if the block doesn't feel right, kind of feels like you're arching the back or feels like you're pulling from somewhere, you can release it and place your low back on the ground. We're just kind of holding here, maybe swaying the knee, roll the ankle. But try to keep the shoulders relaxed, soften through the jaw. Good, one more round of breath. Try to relax the shoulders, soften the jaw, big inhale. Relax into it as you exhale. Good, and then when you're ready, slowly release. Same thing other side. When you're moving, pose. Left knee can pull in. Right leg can be bent or maybe extend. Gently draw the left knee towards you. Maybe sway the knee, roll the ankle. You can always release the block as well on this side. Okay, one more round of breath. Try to relax into it. And then when you're ready, release. If you have that block underneath you, place it off to the side. Just take a moment here, let your low back come back to neutral, letting it kind of ground down. Good. And then let's find a twist. So you can keep your feet together, maybe cross the right leg on top of the left, arms off to the side, and then knees will fall to the left, maybe hips slide to the right. But find any supine twist that feels good. Stack the legs, cross the legs, separate the legs, figure four, whatever serves you now. And you can even kind of lean to the left and lift the left shoulder to find more space to open up to the right. Gaze can be up or maybe chin falls to the right side. Good. Take an inhale. Gently twist, rinse it out as you exhale. And then take your time, come back to center, unwind, and then find the twist on the other side, legs together, maybe cross the left leg on top of the right. Knees will fall to the right, maybe hips slide to the left. Feel free to adjust the shoulders, the legs, find a spot that feels good. Gaze can be up, maybe chin falls to the left side. Feel free to close the eyes, slowing it down. Whatever you're holding on to here, give the body, the mind permission to release it, to let it go. Take a breath. Exhale, release. Good, and then come back to center, unwind, and take about 5 to 8 rounds of breath to close out your practice however needed. Maybe legs up the wall, maybe happy baby. Any final postures, any final movement that feels good. If you are in the inversion, legs up the wall, make sure the low back is grounded, whether that's to the ground or maybe to a block. Hands can always grab from behind the thighs, supporting the legs, the low back. Find any movement, any variation that feels good. You can even explore opening the legs, shaking the legs out. Just be aware of the low back here, making sure it's not arching. And then stay here as long as you like. You can even take this against the wall and hang out here for Shavasana. When you're ready, slowly release. Maybe give yourself a hug, curl into a ball. And then Shavasana, corpse pose, is there waiting for you. Feel free to take up as much space as you like. Blocks can always come underneath the knees. Maybe a pillow, a blanket underneath the head. Draw the shoulder blades underneath you, lifting, supporting the heart. But just like you did in the beginning of class, feel free to scan the body from the toes and slowly making your way up to the crown of the head, making sure every muscle, every inch of the body is relaxed. Maybe even finding gratitude as you make your way up, thanking the muscles, the bones, the blood vessels, the cells, capillaries, everything that had to work in order for you to be right here, right now. The lungs, the heart, all the organs, all the things that we may take for granted. Those things that are working behind the scene to keep us breathing, to keep us moving, to keep us here. And an option for the next few moments to just be here, to find some well-deserved rest, giving the body and the mind space to be. Nowhere to go, nothing to do, but to maybe just hang out with the breath, sitting in this new space, this place of gratitude you created for yourself. But know if the mind wanders, if the body wiggles, that's okay. Just being aware and then bringing it back. If you have extra time, please feel free to stay. Honor this space, honor this rest for as long as you need to. But when you are ready, slowly start to deepen the breath. Start to bring movements back in, wiggle the fingers, the toes. Maybe roll the ankles, the wrists. Let the head rock heavy. And then you can find a nice full body stretch. Reach the arms up overhead, send the legs long, take some wiggles. Maybe start to draw the legs to the chest, take movement here, or you can rock to your favorite side for fetal pose, using the bottom arm as a pillow. And then whenever you're ready, you can gently press up to a seat, Sukhasana, meditation seat, cross the ankles, sit on the shins. Allow the sit bones to root down, find that lift through the crown of the head, front ribs in, soften the shoulders back. Maybe hands come to heart center, Anjali Mudra. And then always an option to take anything you cultivated here on your mat with you off your mat. Carrying gratitude, that attitude of gratitude, that new perspective everywhere you go. Being more aware, being more thankful for what we have right here, right now. Take a breath, a deep inhale, biggest one yet, fill up. Open mouth, exhale, let it go. And I thank you all for showing up, for putting in the work, for being here. And from my heart to yours with so much gratitude, I bow. Thank you, thank you. Shanti, Shanti.